Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 26 of your favorite sports show out, Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go in opposite orders this week. Ross, the guy at the bottom of the screen. What's up, brother? Everything good with you?
I'm good, Josh. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. Watched a little basketball. The first weekend without football is always the hardest, but this with basketball gonna be coming strong, so I'm excited for that.
Absolutely, man. It was definitely no college, no NFL this week, the weekend that just passed. So it was definitely an eye opener. I think we got like 200 some days until the next time we'll see a football game. Who's counting, right? Who's counting? Ladies and gentlemen, you watched last week's show. You saw that Tim said he had to take a hiatus from the show. Tim, we love you. We appreciate you. We can't wait for you to come back and let the world know what you're doing. But in the meantime, as Tim said, the show has to continue. The show has to go on. So I was thinking about who could I have as a guest co-host that could rival up and equal up or even be better than me. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an easy choice. Easy choice. This guy on your screen will be taking us home through the remainder of the NBA Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Club JG podcast, the first ever guest here on Highly Opinionated. It's only right for this guy to go one-on-one against the guy every week. Ladies and gentlemen, John Graham, my man. Welcome to the co-host chair, John.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's an honor to be here. Definitely ready to pick up where Tim left off. And like Josh said, I echo the sentiments. Can't wait to have Tim back on the show, but I'm ready to take over while he's out.
Absolutely, man. We're very thankful to have you. Obviously, people know you played college basketball for Penn State, college basketball at the University of Maryland. So during this basketball season, I feel like there's no one better to have on the show that can give the people the basketball expertise and the analysis that they need other than you, brother. So again, man, great to have you on. Appreciate you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not stopping Club JG podcast. We'll make sure you see his Club JG podcast on the screen. He's still doing that, but gonna take a little bit of his time throughout the week to come holler at us here on Highly Opinionated, man. So once again, we appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, bro. Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So before we get started, Ross, let them know where they can follow us at on our socials.
Of course, Josh. You can follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated __ and follow us on X at highly O_SS. And you're already on on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment. We will comment back.
Absolutely. We appreciate all comments. We appreciate all love. Appreciate you for watching last week's show. Appreciate you for tuning in to this week's show. Again, we aim to please to be the best. We strive to be the best each and every episode that you take the time out your day to listen, to watch, to subscribe, however you consume us. Appreciate you all for doing what you do. John, let's get it popping like you said before, brother. So the 2025 All-Star game was this past weekend. All-Star recap. Friday, you had the Rising Stars game. The winner of the Rising Stars game was coached by Candace Parker. They played on Sunday's 4-team NBA All-Star. I guess I don't even call it head. I guess you call it head-to-head. The 4 teams.
Yeah.
2 teams play against each other. The winners advance to the championship. So on and so on. So Saturday, you had the 3-point shootout. Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat won the 3-point shootout. You had the dunk contest. Mac McClung is your first 3-time winner of the back-to-back dunk contest winner. And for the skills challenge, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley won the skills challenge. Sunday, we had the All-Star game. The first game was Team Kenny versus Team Chuck. Team Chuck won 41-32. The second game was Team Candace versus Team Shaq. Team Shaq won 42-35. And in the championship game, Team Shaq beat Team Chuck 41-25. Bro, a lot to digest. What was your thought process on the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend?
So, there's a whole lot being made about the new format. There were a lot of people who were against it. There were a lot of people who thought this was a good idea. Where I am with it is, it was nice to see the league try to do a change up. And for everyone that's pissed off, including one Draymond Green with his comments about how this was terrible format, how the rising stars should not have been on the same court as the NBA All-Stars. I took a pause to say, look, it's not that he's out of bounds of what he's saying about how hard it is to become an All-Star and be on that court on Sunday with the other All-Stars and call yourself belonging there. This generation of superstars is the reason why we got to this format. So everyone that's pissed off about it, blame this generation of superstars. That includes LeBron James, that includes Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, James Harden, and so on and so forth. They are the reason why we got here. The past couple of All-Star games, in my opinion, have been trash. We've had 400-point games combined between the two teams because there was no effort. There was little to no defense. Not that we're expecting you to play all out 100% in an All-Star game. We get it. It's a long season. You got a second half to worry about. We obviously don't want our stars to get injured. But the way that it was so lackadaisical, a glorified layup line, as some people would call it, guys chucking up threes from half court, guys just getting out the way so a guy can attempt a crazy dunk, trying to have a dunk contest in the game for crying out loud. Why are we so surprised that the league is trying to do something to change it? I'm gonna tell you, like that game that we had with the OGs, I think it was Team Shaq versus Candace team with the Rising Stars. I'm glad it happened because the Rising Stars made the OGs have to play with some effort. They had to play some defense because you know what? Pride kicked in. They didn't want to get embarrassed by those kids, and those kids were coming out here flying around, going up and down the court because they wanted to beat them and show them up. You know, from LeBron sitting out, an hour before game time. Anthony Edwards, same thing. Rising Stars like, all right, we don't care. We're going to try to embarrass you. If you want to like be lackadaisical and screw around, we're going to try to beat you. So I'm glad that game happened because we finally saw some type of effort, some type of dig in and get a stop from the NBA superstars that we love to watch on a nightly basis, all in one court. That's where I was with it.
Yeah, I agree for the most part of what you're saying. I'm not all right. So I wasn't a fan of the change of format. For me, I'm an old school guy. You know how I feel. I just the last great All-Star game that we had, I looked it up. It was in 2013. And if I take people back to 2013, you'd be like, well, what happened in that All-Star game? Remember during that time, that was Michael Jordan did a sit-down interview with Ahmad Rashad, and they asked Michael Jordan, who's better, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James? And Mike said, well, 6 beats. I think LeBron had 3 at the time, or 5. No, I'm sorry, 5 beats 3. Because I think he had 3 at the time, or 5 beats 2. LeBron had 2 championships or 3 championships.
I believe he had 2 at this point in time in 2013.
2. So at that point, 5 beats 2. Right now, technically 5 beats 4. Still. Okay, fine. If you watch Kobe Bryant literally say, okay, this is why I'm going to show you I'm the best player. And literally didn't even try to shoot. Just said, I'm going to play defense. That was in 2013. In 2012, the All-Star game in Orlando, Dwayne Wade had broke Kobe Bryant's nose in the All-Star game. That would be sacrilegious today. If you look at someone the wrong way in an All-Star game, like, what are you doing? I saw Kyrie playing defense on Sunday night. Like, whoa, Kyrie, what you doing? We wasn't expecting this. Dwayne Wade had broke Kobe's nose in the 2012 All-Star game. So for me, I'm not a fan of the gimmicks of it. Team Shaq, Team Charles, Team Candace. I get why they did that. It was TNT's last All-Star game. We get that. So I understand that. But for me, I wish they would go back to East versus West, or go to the United States versus the world. You can find 12 world players. You can find 12 USA players and just play that. And at that point, I'm sure that will get the competitive juices flowing. But as far as the 3 games, the 4 teams, I wasn't a fan of that. I will agree with Draymond. Like, making an All-Star team now, you can't even do the same thing. For example, Steph Curry, the last time he won the MVP before he won the MVP on Sunday, had 50 points in an All-Star game. That'll never happen because you only go to 40, 41. So records would never be broken. Anthony Davis had a 50-point All-Star game. Russell Westbrook had a 50. Those records would never be broken because it's not enough time to do it. So I get what the NBA is trying to do. They're trying to add more, change it up, spice it up. And again, just because this was the product this year doesn't mean it'll be the product next year. But I think if the NBA really want to go back to winning, play hard in the All-Star game, stop BSing around. You can do East versus West, or if you don't want to do East versus West, let's do World versus US. That'll be a good game. Who wouldn't want to see Giannis and Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Victor Wembanyama and who else am I missing? Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. Donovan Mitchell was on the world team.
Donovan Mitchell versus Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, KD, LeBron, AD, Kawhi, whoever you want to put in there, whoever's having a good year, put him James Harden, Steph. So like, let's do that instead of trying to gimmick it up. I do disagree with Draymond that the rising stars shouldn't be on the court. I disagree with that only because if you look at some of these rising stars, some of these dudes got game. And I know they rookies, but people know I'm a big Spurs fan. I think Stephon Castle is the real deal.
He's on his way. That kid is on his way. He's a star in the making.
I want to hear your thought process on this. You know who Stephon Castle remind me of? When you say low budget, it makes you sound like you're saying a knockoff. So I don't want to look at him as a knockoff. But he's a low budget Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He can't shoot as good as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So Shai's a better all-around player. But my Castle is more athletic than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can just see that right now. Absolutely. He'll continuously work with the Spurs shot doctor, and he's going to be playing with better people. I expect the Spurs to add some talent, either that's high in the draft, certain Duke player that I like for the Spurs to get if they can get their hands on him, or they could sign a free agent that they have money that they could sign a free agent or trade for somebody, like how they traded for De'Aaron Fox. So it's some guys, Stephon Castle, Zach Edey, Keontae George I like, Trace Jackson Davis I like. So it was some Ryan Dunn, Dalton Connect. So there's some guys on that Rising Stars team, man, that their experience will make them better players, which will make them borderline all-star or multiple time all-stars.
Yeah, I see some all-stars definitely on that Rising Stars team. You can start with Stephon Castle. As far as the Spurs, they're very much becoming, once again, they're building into a championship caliber team. You got your centerpiece in Victor Wembanyama. You traded for a second star in De'Aaron Fox. You've got a budding star in Stephon Castle, and you also have Chris Paul, the wily old veteran, to mentor these young guys and help them develop, the coach on the court, so to speak. So I like what the Spurs are doing. I would not be shocked if this upcoming free agency in the summertime that they start making plays, because Greg Popovich, as we know, is an all-time elite coach. He knows how to coach, he knows how to win. And you're already building. You're already a lot better than you were last year, and you're making moves to make this team better. So I almost really expect the Spurs to make plays in the summertime. Castle, I'm with you on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander comparison. Obviously, a ton more athletic. I got to see a couple of his dunks. Just absolutely insane. I watched this kid while he was at UConn. You saw a star written all over him. He's just like, he's a little bit raw. He's got talent and everything, but you really want to continue to develop and mold him. And what better place than San Antonio with Greg Popovich? So I think the Spurs are definitely on the way up. I'm with you. For the All-Star game, I'd rather go East-West. If we're going to do anything, just go back East-West. Like all these gimmicks about having team captains, selecting guys and everything, or what we had this past weekend. Although, like I stand by what I said, having the Rising Stars making the older players play a little bit harder instead of BSing around. I was all for that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about just how Anthony Davis with 50 points, guys are trying to break records and everything. We can't really do that if we have a target score. So why not just go back to East-West? But I feel for Adam Silver. It's like you had to do something because you couldn't keep having what we've been having the past couple of years. Just it was so blatantly obvious that they did not care. It made so many people people were turning the game off early. People were leaving the arena early. I heard Stephen A. on First Take today saying Magic Johnson didn't even go to the All-Star game, and he apparently is a person that goes every year. That's to tell you right there that things are changing where it's like, hey, these guys don't care, so why would I care?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, little things like that. It's just look, you miss, and everyone's talking about maybe we're brainwashed from the nostalgia of the old superstars that we had, AI and Jordan versus Kobe, KG, and Tim Duncan and those guys. And you know what? Maybe we are. I mean, because we grew up in a great era where the All-Star game was fun to watch, and you saw guys getting after it. I remember when AI in the East came back from down, I think it was 15 points or something like that late in the game, and AI was going all out. He really lit it up, and the East came back and won. It was games like that You know, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, like those were the All-Star games you look forward to seeing. The dunk contest, when you had Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, guys that we knew were stars in the game, but also were great dunkers. They came out and they did it. Why can't we have that anymore? I'm not throwing any shade on Matt McClung. This man is an amazing dunker. I mean, ridiculous what he's been doing. He saved the dunk contest.
3 in a row. He definitely saved it.
He saved the dunk contest. Look, I'm all for it. Bring Matt McClung back again. But Ja Morant is tweeting about, oh, maybe I'll do it. Giannis Antetokounmpo saying, I'm tweeting about, oh, maybe I'll go with you. Aaron Gordon, he's tweeting at Zach LaVine. Aaron Gordon, like, what's up? Y'all want to come back? Zion's name's been brought up. Just do it. LeBron. Once upon a time, LeBron was he did an interview saying that, hey, I'm probably going to sign up and do the dunk contest. Never did.
Cheryl Miller, right there in the All-Star weekend with Cheryl Miller said he was going to do it for 5 a year. Never did.
Yeah, never did. I took it with a grain of salt because that's what LeBron is. Like that's what he does. He likes to tease us, like, you know, bring attention to the situation and then just kind of fade away. Like, oh, I was just playing. I'm not going to do it. The NBA All-Star Weekend is about the stars participating in the events. People come out to see these amazing players do their thing, not just in the All-Star game, but like in the slam dunk contest, in the skills contest, the three-point shootout. How are we in the Bay Area and Stephen Curry is not in the three-point shootout? Again, no shades of the guys that did it. Shout out Chop Tyler Hero. He was lights out. But how the hell do we not have Steph Curry in the three-point shootout in the Bay Area? Come on now. So it's just all this stuff. And then, like I said before, you know, Anthony Davis, LeBron, like, you know, bowing out like at the 11th hour before game time. You could have given notice. It's not that we're killing you for like doing it. We understand. If you're not right, don't play. You got a team to worry about. You got a second half of the season to worry about. Just don't play. Give Adam Silver notice so that he can fill your spots. The OG team was down 2 guys and they only had 8 guys on the bench. I mean, on the roster altogether instead of 10. But if these guys are given a more of a notice like Giannis Antetokounmpo did, maybe that wouldn't be happening. But that's all we're saying is how it was done is why it rubbed me the wrong way and why it's part of the reason that All-Star games have been trashed the past couple of years. And look, if you're not going to do East-West, I would say, hey, look, this is the last time we're going to be telling y'all about this, playing hard. We're going to go back to the East and West. If y'all lollygag and BS around, just do away with the All-Star game. Just name the All-Stars like the Pro Bowl's doing now. Just name the Pro Bowlers, have some recess games or whatever, have a three-point shootout and everything, dunk contest, cool. But on Sunday, just have some recess games because the NBA is not going to keep dealing with this. Fans aren't going to keep dealing with this. That's where we're starting to get to.
Yeah, it's sad that they play harder in a pickup game at UCLA than they do in the NBA All-Star game. It's it makes no sense. Like nobody's watching in UCLA, but everyone's watching you in the All-Star game. You're not trying your hardest. So I agree with you on that. As far as LeBron, yeah, I had a problem with that. I had a problem with LeBron and Anthony Edwards, so I'll be fair, not just picking on one or the other, both. A guy like Norman Powell is having a hell of a season for the Clippers, and I know most people
points a game.
No, I can make a case that Norman Powell was the best player on the Clippers, and the Clippers had James Harden on the roster. If you watch the Clippers this year, Norman Powell has arguably been their best player. Why? Like Norman Powell should have made the All-Star team. I thought he was the biggest snub. This was no disrespect to Trae Young, because I knew Trae was going to find a way to make it. I knew Kyrie was going to find a way to make it. Those guys should have just ain't enough spots. Norman Powell is having a hell of a year, and he didn't go to the All-Star game because LeBron didn't want to say. LeBron could have stayed home and got treatment.
May I interject? There's a lot of people on Twitter that are saying, hey, y'all don't really care to watch 5 minutes of Norman Powell play. I'm like, well, bro, it's better than watching LeBron James on the bench in street clothes.
Exactly.
So how are we complaining about that?
It's not about watching Norman Powell play. Norman Powell deserved to be there. That's the thing. I'm not into this thing about giving somebody anything. I ain't gonna lie. I think KD and LeBron, you can make a case. I'm not saying they're not having great years, but they're automatically gonna be grandfathered into a starting spot. So is Steph. So we get that. That's how the NBA All-Star game always worked. We got that with Jordan, we got that with Kobe, you got that with Garnett. I get that. But Norman Powell deserved to be there. I'm not into giving people stuff. He's earned the right to be there. He should have been there. And he could have been playing in the game. If LeBron said, hey, man, I'm not playing or I'm not coming, he knew his ankle was hurting when they lost to Utah before the All-Star break at Utah. So it's not like he didn't know. So, again, not a fan of him. Not a fan of Anthony that was not showing up and playing.
Yeah, like if you're good or not. Like, are you good to play? Come on, man. Like,
Exactly.
if you're at this point in your career, if you're good to play or not. And we're not knocking you if you don't play, man. But it's like a Norman Powell who deserves to be there, who's healthy, he can play.
Exactly.
LeBron couldn't even get in uniform for the team photo. Any introductions. All the other all-stars are walking out in their warm-ups. LeBron's come out in street clothes with his hat turned backwards. Exactly. He's right in the middle of the team photo, looking like the coach. Everybody else in their uniform.
Everybody, they look like they playing for him. That's exactly how they look. They like, hey man, it's time. We playing for him.
That little, it's little things like that that annoy the hell out of you. But like, it's just, we didn't have to get there. But LeBron and Anthony Edwards, you got us there.
This is my last thing. I want Anthony Edwards. Okay. Two more things on Anthony Edwards. That yesterday or Sunday night was the reason why he will never be the face of the NBA. People thought last year that he could be this and be that. I told people this, and not just because of Wembanyama 7'5". Wembanyama got more dog in his heart than a lot of these people from America. You can just see it in how he talk, how he carry himself, how he move. And Anthony Edwards will never be the face of the NBA with that mentality, with that attitude. He's a fantastic player. He has amazing ability. But in order to be the face of the league, you got to have some dog in you. LeBron had dog in him. Steph got some dog in him. KD, whether you want to debate, he was the face of the league for a year, 2 years, whatever. Dog, Kobe, Jordan, Shaq, they all had dog. Anthony Edwards doesn't have that. And until he gets that, he'll always be second tier. You feel me? Because he'll never have that go get it mentality. He has a go get it mentality as far as scoring, yeah, but I'm trying being the face of the league is everything. You got to show up. You got to do this. You got to do that. He's not that type of guy that's going to strike me that's going to do that.
I just feel like that questioning is a little loaded to me with that, because how do we define the face of the league? Like, do we define it as like, who's like is the model citizen of the NBA? LeBron, model citizen, never got in trouble in his career. Jordan had his stuff off the court. But he was that phenomenal. You couldn't not be the face of the league. Same thing with Kobe. But Ant is a go-getter. Like, this guy is a dog on the court. Like, you see how he wants to. You saw it in the playoffs last year when he was going against his favorite player, KD. He showed the ultimate respect, in my opinion, by trying to beat him, going at him and letting him know about it. That's the kind of stuff that honestly I was missing the past couple years in the NBA, where it's like, yo, all right, we cool out the court, but on the court, I'm coming at you and I'm gonna let you know that I'm coming at you. That's what Ant was doing. But Ant is also a guy that is going to be dropping F-bombs, randomly in interviews and all that. He gonna be him. He gonna be real, like, at times truculent, at times maybe not somebody you want to model everything with. Now, again, his game is only going to get better. I made a comment last year that he reminded me a lot of 80s Michael Jordan, and people went crazy and gave me hell for it. I'm like saying, dude, I'm not saying that Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan, but I'm saying what 80s Jordan brought to the table, the athleticism, the go-get, you gotta watch this kid play. And you see like him attacking, like see him like, just keep on coming at you. That's what I was talking about. I can see Ant being probably the best player in the league, like if not the next year or so, it's possible. Maybe an MVP, who knows? But I hear what you're saying about face of the league. I mean, he flat out said that he doesn't think he's the face of the league. He's like, that's what Wembanyama's for. I hear you all that, but I think really it depends on how we define face of the league. I think it's kind of a loaded topic there, in my opinion.
We will definitely get back to that point about defining the face of the league in the NBA. My second point with Adam Silver, it's nothing Adam Silver can do to change the All-Star game. He's in bed with the players. The problem that he got is that he's too embedded with the players. This is an easy fix to fix the All-Star game. All he has to do is sit down LeBron, Steph, KD, the best players. Man, listen, I need y'all to play. If y'all don't play, we're getting rid of it. Like what you said. But he can't do that. They're gonna minimize his power. Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA, but it's like he works for the players.
Yes.
That's what it seems like. Instead of him being the commissioner of the oversighting the league, he worked for the players. And they want to have a good hand-in-hand relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you can't be buddy-buddy. Sometimes the co-worker and the boss can't be buddy-buddy. It's not going to work. And that's the problem that the NBA got.
I definitely agree with that. And we could talk about it coming from the contracts these players are getting now. Like they're getting ridiculous contracts early in their career that they basically don't have to play again if they shut it down already, because they already have enough guaranteed dollars to be generationally wealthy. So, yeah, they're kind of sniffing their nose at the NBA as the product altogether, saying, I don't have to do this. Like, I'm already paid. I'm good. And I got a team to be responsible for. Why do I care about the All-Star game?
Imagine this. The NBA hired the NBA. Draymond Green worked for TNT on Sunday night. He trashed the product. Think about that for a second. An analyst, an NBA analyst. That's what he was during that time. He trashed the product. That tells you all you need to know about with the NBA players, with the NBA Players Association, and with the commissioner. They're too much embedded with each other. It needs to be, not to be funny, it needs to be some uncomfortable, hard conversations. Sometimes, you might not hear what you want to hear, so you can get the results and see the progress that you need to see. Ladies and gentlemen,
a lot of people don't like Draymond.
Now go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people don't like Draymond Green, but there's no one I would expect to be more of a straight shooter than Draymond Green when it comes to stuff like this.
Absolutely. He's not going to lie to you. He's going to tell you what it is and how it is. Again, that's his opinion, and he has a right to share his opinion. Whether I agree all the time or not, that's his opinion. I just so happen to I agree with it. Like, we're never going to be able to see the records. We're never going to see the All-Star game the way that it is. The All-Star game was competitive in 2012 and 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 13 and 14 years ago. I'm not making it seem like 25, 30 years ago. I'm telling you something that happened 12, 13 years ago. In 2012, that's 13 years ago. 2013, that's 12 years ago. I'm not asking you to go back throwing the archives and watch the game in black and white with black and white glasses on. I'm not asking you for that. I'm asking you, LeBron James played in the All-Star game. Kevin Durant played in the last competitive All-Star game. These guys played. So, nah. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, these guys played. So, we just want a little bit competitive. We just want a little bit more competitive balance when you have the best 24 players on the court.
Amen.
You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. The best segment in sports is, as you guys see on your screen, let's talk about it. This week's topic for Let's Talk About It, second half NBA storylines. John, as always, bro, you start us off. What second half NBA storylines are you looking forward to this season?
I am looking at the LA Lakers, I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors, and I'm also paying attention to the Oklahoma City Thunder, how they respond in the second half, being the number one seed. A lot of people were kind of, I think, early crowning the OKC Thunder to maybe get to the finals. I didn't think they were ready yet, and they ran into Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, and ultimately went down. But you saw the potential. You saw like the future that Oklahoma City had with them now. So they're back again. They have that playoff loss under their belt. They went through a little adversity with Chet Holmgren being out most of the year. So they're becoming whole. So it's like, will Oklahoma City absolutely take the West by a chokehold and be the bona fide number one seed? As for the Lakers, okay, now we have Luka Doncic and LeBron James with a couple games under their belt. We're starting to see like what this team is going to look like, now that the trade is really happened, and we're going to see how this team looks. I am actually a lot more concerned about the Lakers. People are so caught up in love with the offense, what it can potentially be. You got to play both sides of the ball if you're going to win a championship in the NBA. And the Lakers are not a good defensive team. They were not good when Anthony Davis was there. They are even worse, if that's possible, now that Anthony Davis is gone. They picked up Alex Len, free agent from Sacramento. They have Jackson Hayes back there. You saw in that last Utah game how easy it was for Utah to get to the rim. And if Utah is going to do that to you, what do you think is going to happen when you run into Memphis, Boston, Cleveland, Denver? a lot of teams in the West, that don't know to attack the Lakers in the interior. Yes, the Lakers have enough offensive firepower to outscore someone, but you got to play both sides of the ball at some point if you're going to win playoff series and ultimately get to a championship. And the last thing is the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green went ahead and made some headlines saying that the Golden State Warriors will win the championship. I chuckled and everything, as I'm sure a lot of other people did. But I will say Jimmy Butler has definitely infused a new energy in that team with Steph Curry and Draymond and the guys around them. You can see it, actually. I was very unsure how a guy with Jimmy Butler's type of game would fit in with Curry and Draymond, but they went 3-1 in the last 4 games before going into the All-Star break. And I'm definitely intrigued to see what they can do going forward in the second half of the season. How far can they rise up in the standings? Can they possibly get to the 6th seed and get out of the play-in? I think right now that's a tall task, but we've seen in the past, when you bet against a champion, you'll often be proven wrong. Now I know these guys are on the back ends of their career. Stephen Curry is still a phenomenal player. As long as you have a guy like that, you got a chance. Draymond is still Draymond. He understands how to play with this team. He understands the offense, how to get Curry open. And if Jimmy Butler just continues to ignite this team the way that he has, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and given the attitude that we know Jimmy Butler brings to the table, I think it's possible that we could see Golden State be a little intriguing as the second half of the season goes on.
Yeah, I think I love your Golden State call. Currently 28-27, the 10 seed in the West. They're 3.5 games out of the 6 seed. Clippers are 31-23. Again, the Warriors are 28-27. Jumboed up with Minnesota 7, Dallas 8, Sacramento 9, Golden State 10. For me, for my second half storylines, the first one I'll start off with is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to see what the Cleveland Cavaliers do and how they do it. I love the addition of DeAndre Hunter. I think DeAndre Hunter is a great addition to them. It allows Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell does not have to stick the best player defensively. DeAndre Hunter can do that now. Darius Garland doesn't have to get worn down running after guards. DeAndre Hunter can do that. So I love the DeAndre Hunter move for the Cleveland Cavaliers. My next storyline I'm looking at is the New York Knicks. I'm looking to see, are they contenders or are they pretenders? Right now, I think they're pretenders. They play a lot. They can score on anybody, but they can't play a lick of defense. And in the playoffs, you have to be able to get stops consistently to win and further advance in the playoffs. So I'm looking at the Knicks. My last observation for the East, the 20-34 Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the NBA trade deadline is over. If you had told me the Philadelphia 76ers, through all the injuries, the addition of Paul George, Joel Embiid, they signed Eric Gordon, they signed some good to great signings, they would be 20-34, I would laugh. They're 20-34. They're a game and a half out of the 10th seed in the East. That's how bad the Eastern Conference is. I'm going to repeat that again. They're a game and a half out of being in the last play-in spot for the East. I want to see what this Philadelphia team does. I know it's funny. I know the East is terrible, bro. It sucks. I want to see what this Philadelphia team does with this second half of the season. This is a big second half of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. They got 2 untradeable contracts. Paul George's contract is untradeable. Joel Embiid's contract is untradeable just because of health. The Philadelphia 76ers, they need to do something. And winning could help them. They're not going to win the championship. But if they can find a way to get into the play-in and make the playoffs with this subpar season, maybe that can springboard them to make a few moves during the offseason that can get them out of this rut, and maybe they can actually start trusting the process, which they've been trying to tell people to trust for years. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I want to respond to your storylines there. Philadelphia 76ers need to find a way to blow this entire thing up.
I agree.
Maybe, and I mean that includes even giving Tyrese Maxey a chance to play with a better team, because this is an absolute disaster. Joel Embiid is done. He cannot stay healthy. Look, I feel bad for Joel Embiid. I'm not calling him a scrub or anything like that, because when he's healthy, he's one of the best bigs we've ever seen. This man cannot stay healthy. It's rumored that he's probably going to have to get yet another surgery on his knee. Like my God, I feel bad. I actually feel bad for Joel Embiid, because I'm a fan of his.
I am too. Let me say this. At a certain point in time, I thought he was the best big man in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Nikola Jokic did not die and go to heaven. He was still playing in the NBA. I thought Embiid was better than him. There's no way me watching basketball, I can tell you that Embiid is better than him. There's no chance, no way. Jokic is more durable. He's a better player. He's more healthy. And again, he's just a better player. And if you are available, the best availability is being available. And that's what Nikola Jokic can provide. Joel Embiid cannot.
100%. And it's not that Embiid can't play. Like, he's amazing when he's healthy. But again, we keep saying when he's healthy. Paul George, same thing, when he's healthy. I am shell-shocked about how bad Paul George has been for this team. He's been god awful. And I'm just like absolutely shocked by it. It was some stat that came out like before the All-Star break, last 5 games, Paul George averaged 10 points. Paul George averaged 10 points. I had to look at that again because I couldn't believe it. Like
the game before the All-Star game, and I'm not making fun of who I'm about to say. Bronny James scored more points than Paul George. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Paul George is a perennial all-star. Bro, ain't nobody on here saying he's a great GOAT. Ain't nobody on here saying he's the best player in the league. But he damn sure better than 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, 10. The man should be averaging damn near 20. 15 to 20 with that team, 15 to 20 at the worst.
That's not Paul George. That's not him. It's just I can't believe how bad he's been. And it's just like people are saying that the Sixers got robbed of money because that's how bad it's been. And it's like you look at Maxey, he's playing as hard as he can. It's just like he can't do it by himself. And like you feel bad for that guy because like do you wonder if he's wasting his best years in Philly? The way that this is starting to shake out. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten. With the Knicks, you're right about the defensive side of the ball for them, which is shocking given who coaches them and Tom Thibodeau. But I will say that when you get Mitchell Robinson back, when you get an OG Anunoby back, I think that changes things defensively for the Knicks. I think that will definitely help them. They've been doing this by outscoring their opponent. Karl-Anthony Towns has been great. Jalen Brunson has been great again. Josh Hart, as always, has been great for them. But they are missing some key guys that I think would definitely help them defensively. So I want to see what happens once Mitchell Robinson gets back in the rotation, especially with OG Anunoby, because these guys are known for defense, and I believe those guys can make a difference there.
I'm sorry, Coach. I don't trust Karl-Anthony Towns. I know they went to the Western Conference Finals last year. He was the second best player on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yep. I thought, and I know we talked earlier, Anthony Edwards has dog. He just has for me, the type of, and dog is your preference. The type of dog that I like, he doesn't have. Because like, all right, so again, he's a very talented player, but is he going to make people around him better? He didn't make Cat better, in my opinion. Because if I'm playing with Cat, stop shooting all these threes. Get your big ass on the post, bro. Give me 6 points in the paint per quarter. If you give me 6 points in the paint per quarter, you know what that is? That's 24 points. 6 times 4 is 24. So you gave me 24 points already. Forget you shooting threes. The worst thing ever happened to him was he won that 3-point shooting contest in the NBA. Because now I was like, okay, I got to show him. No, bro. A lot of people that stick Karl-Anthony Towns cannot stick Karl-Anthony Towns. And he's playing, and he wants, and you know what? Like he does. Well, when Mitchell Robinson come back, he can play the 4 and the 5. So let's say he's the 4. No, body them up in the paint and score on them in the paint. You don't always have to shoot 3. So for me, I don't want to disrespect Cat. I got a nickname for him. I'll tell you my nickname for him off the show when we take a break. But I'm not a fan of Cat. I need Cat to be a big cat, not no little cat. I need a big cat. You feel me? I need a cat that's gonna attack mice. He gonna attack rats. He gonna do everything he need to do to guard the house. And I just don't feel that with Karl-Anthony Towns.
Hey, I understand that given what we saw in the playoffs last year. We kind of saw, Karl-Anthony Towns, dare I say, look a little soft at times. Could not really play defense and get in foul trouble a lot. We just kind of saw that. And you even saw Anthony Edwards, like at times, like just get pissed off at him, like because he's settling. I thought that Julius Randle would kind of solve that, but obviously that's been an experiment that's definitely underwhelmed at best. But I don't know. I gotta wait and see like with that. I do think Mitchell Robinson and OG
and Mitchell and
Josh Hart.
Say it again.
Who were you gonna say?
They traded Jericho Sims. I know that they traded him to the Bucks. It was somebody else on the Knicks that I like. That's that 7th, 8th man, McBride. I like McBride. They got some guys on the bench that I like. But I'm just saying for Cat to be the second best player, yes. Mitchell Robinson needs to come back and OG needs to come back. They're the 2 heart and soul defenders, heart and soul best defensive players. If they can come and infuse that defense, then then we should be able to get a full glimpse and full, prospect of what the Knicks can be. But they're not going to outscore everybody in the East. Cleveland, Boston, and I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. We've done the show. We're doing the show now. I haven't said anything about them. Milwaukee. They still got two of the most nuclear players in the NBA with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. They traded for Kyle Kuzma. Let's see Kyle Kuzma on a championship contending team, what he can do as the third or fourth piece. So I like Bobby Portis. So I think Milwaukee could challenge New York for that. They might not be the third seed because of the records, the difference of record. But Milwaukee and the Knicks played in the series. Milwaukee got the two best players.
No, 100%. And to your Kyle Kuzma point, the last time we saw him as a third option on a championship caliber team, we saw the results. The Lakers won a championship.
They won the championship with the Lakers.
I know Kuzma's just happy to get out of DC. I mean, my God, like that's just like thank God he got out of there. And no, to your last point with the Cavaliers, look, I give the city of Cleveland a hard time, whether it's football or basketball, because they've been historical in finding ways to screw it up or giving us laughable moments to remember. Oh, there's Cleveland doing Cleveland things again. Are we seeing this unfold again? Cleveland's got a tie for the best record in the league right now, 44-10.
You don't believe in the Cavs?
Donovan Mitchell's playing well. Like, I got to see it. I'm sorry. Like, I've seen this movie before with teams like this, and it gets to the point where it's like, do I really believe you can beat Boston? I don't. I got to see it to believe it. The last time the Boston played the Cavs, they once again destroyed them. So
they swept. Oh, I mean, I thought you were talking about the playoffs last year. I'm sorry, you're talking about doing the regular season.
No, the regular season. I'm talking about regular season this year. Like, and I gotta physically with my own eyes see that the Cleveland Cavaliers knocked off the Boston Celtics before I believe in them in the NBA Finals. But look, Cleveland can get right back to Cleveland can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think so. They played very, very well, but when the moment comes where who's standing in your way, the reigning defending NBA champions, are you going to get it done? Is Donovan Mitchell the guy that's going to get it done? Love Donovan Mitchell. He plays hard every night. Is great offensive player. Plays defense. Plays both ends.
He does play defense.
Love Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. You got two bigs that are really good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They got length. You mentioned DeAndre Hunter. That's a big pickup for them. Darius Garland, a really good point guard. They got shooters. They got shooters off the bench with Ty Jerome, Matt Strus. They got a lot.
Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert's gone. He's in the trade.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He was not traded to get DeAndre Hunter. But
okay. I'm sorry. That's not correct. My bad.
But as you know, it comes to a point in time where none of that matter. Do you have a guy that can go against their guy, or guys, I should say, in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? I'm not sure. Yeah, I gotta see it to believe it. When what I think the inevitable is going to be is Cleveland and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just gotta see it.
My wild card or surprise, I can't even say that a surprise as a number 3 seed in the West. Nobody in the West is talking about the best player. Poor old Nikola Jokic. Poor old Jamal Murray. Poor old Aaron Gordon. Poor old Mike Malone. And poor old Russell Westbrook. Ladies and gentlemen, I like the Nuggets to come out and win the West. I love it. They have the best player. You can make a case. They have the best duo in the playoffs. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic have shown that they are one of the best, if not the best playoff duo. They won a championship in recent years. Can't take nothing away from Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. But I'm in love with this Denver team. And let me just put this out here. I'm looking at the standings right now. In the West, they talk about the number 5 seed, the Lakers. They talk about the number 8 seed, the Mavericks. They talk about the number 10 seed, Golden State, and they talk about their number 11 seed, 26 and 28 Phoenix Suns. I don't hear people talking about the number 3 seed, 36 and 19 Denver Nuggets. Again, they have the best player. They have the best. You can make a case they have the best duo. Russell Westbrook has fit seamlessly in Denver. If you've been watching Westbrook the whole season, he's fitting seamlessly in Denver. Perfect fit. Christian Braun has gotten better. There's young guys, Strauder. All these young guys are getting more time and get more minutes. They're getting more confidence. And they already have a championship winning head coach, championship winning DNA. Again, we can talk about the Thunder. We can talk about the Lakers. We can talk about the Clippers signed Ben Simmons. So I saw the Clippers get a little bit of love. Like, okay, maybe that could be something. They talk about Jimmy Butler. They talked about don't hold your head down. Don't hold your head down for Clippers. I'm just telling you what I see. I'm just telling you what the people saying. So, bro, listen, we not talking about the Denver Nuggets. We're not, and I don't understand why. They have the best player. Again, one of the best duos. I like the Nuggets to win the West.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick at all. Like fear is something that comes to play when it comes to the playoffs. When you know that someone is lurking and they've been there and done that. If you're a Memphis Grizzlies who's sitting at the 2 seed, no one really talks about them either. Now that Ja is coming back, Memphis looks like the team that we remember when Ja was healthy. And the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, you look good now, but when it comes to, and again, I can say the same thing like I did about Cleveland.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it against their guy with your guys? When it ain't about plays, it ain't about matchups, it's about your guy versus my guy. Who's better? It's hard for me to go against Jokic. It's hard for me to go against the way Jamal Murray has been looking before the All-Star break. You seen that guy? He look like that Jamal Murray we was worried about last year. Like he started to look like that guy. So they are very much in the mix. It's not a bad pick. Ben Simmons with the Clippers. If Coach Ty Lue finds a way to make Ben Simmons somewhat effective, the Clippers need to rip up that contract and have this man write out whatever he wants on this contract. Whatever Ty Lue wants on that contract, you give it to him. If he can get this man to be an effective NBA player, yeah, rip that up and let Ty Lue write his own contract.
So that Thursday, the All-Star break started Thursday night.
Yep.
So I watched the Clippers at the Jazz. So that was a Thursday night game. It wasn't on national TV. It was on your NBA League Pass. If you guys have NBA League Pass, watch that. I'm not picking the Clippers. I picked the Nuggets. Okay, y'all heard me pick the Nuggets. But I will say this. For what he can do for that team, he is perfect for the Clippers. He's going to push the pace. If whatever he does scoring is fine. Defense, grabbing rebounds and setting others up, that's what they need. And Ben can still do that.
Is he going to play?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak on that. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't speak on something like that. We're gonna take it one day at a time. Today is Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. The next day is Wednesday. The following day after that is Thursday. So we're gonna take it one day at a time with Ben Simmons. But again, for what he can do, I like what he can bring to the table for them. Again, I'm not picking them to win nothing. That's not happening. But I do like the defensive and the passing ability that he can bring to the team. They also got Bogdanović from the Hawks. So you get a shooter go along with James. Kawhi Leonard came back. Let's see, let him progress. So, and let me say this. My most improved player is Ivica Zubac right now in the NBA. Go look at him. Go look at the improvement he's made with the Clippers. Just like I said, Norman Powell had a strong case to make the All-Star game. Zubac was never going to make it, but he had a case himself. So,
not a bad pick. Like Zubac is, again, a former Laker. Another guy that we let go.
Yeah, for nothing. The Lakers traded him for nothing. So
yeah, the Lakers are my favorite team. This is one of the guys that I wish we didn't give up, but we went ahead and did it anyway. Try to get a championship. But yeah, like I said, Ben Simmons, if he's available, first of all, great. If Ty Lue somehow makes this man become a factor, yeah, let that man write his own contract. I'm very serious about that. Coach of the year, give it to him. And whatever he wants, money-wise, I better not hear a word from Steve Ballmer. That's the way I look at it.
On that note, I'm going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. As you guys have watched this past few episodes, our great UFC/boxing correspondent Dylan has been giving you guys the insights and the goods in the fighting world. Dylan, it's your time, my brother. Appreciate you. Take it from here.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Josh, John, Adam. What's up, guys? Right now, we're going to go over our UFC 251 breakdown from this past weekend, Saturday night. I think I say it every single time to you guys, bangers all night. From the first fight to the last, if you weren't tuned in, I don't know what you were doing. Johnny Walker's brother, Valter Walker, he was in the prelims, and that guy is big. We didn't talk about him, but he is on the radar now. He had a crazy finish against Dontel Mays, incredible stop, big boy throwing haymakers from the start to finish. That was definitely a great fight. Another prelim fight that blew me out was Elijah Smith. He was making his debut. He's one of the only two UFC fighters who was a father-son duo in the UFC. Now, his father is retired, but Elijah is fresh and ready, upcoming rookie. He had a crazy win against Vince Morales, who was a seasoned veteran in the UFC, had multiple fights, been in the UFC for 5+ years and know what he's doing. But Elijah Smith had a crazy win, 3 hard, long rounds, didn't get tired. He's in my favorite, and he is a good one to keep an eye on in the future. To keep it going to the main card, a little upsetting, but still a great card and great bangers. Hats off to all the guys. We'll start off with a good one from the bottom. Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. Crazy fight. Shabazian, my guy, is a heavy, hard-throwing banger. That guy does not play around when it comes to the octagon, and he wants the title. He is going for the shot. But Dylan Budka, he is definitely a top contender also. That was a brutal fight, and Shabazian got it, though, with a KO. So props to him. Unfortunately, Calvin Kattar did not get the dub like I wanted, and he is one of my favorites. He's getting a little old for the game, though, but he still looked fresh and good, but he was just out-grappled by Zalil. He is an upcomer, grappling, MMA top-heavy on the ground and pound, doesn't stop, elbows. He wanted the win, and he got the win, though. Unfortunately, it was by decision, but his next fight, we'll see where it goes from there. He should be up in the top ranks. Top of the card, main fight on that card, we had Jared Cannonier, Gregory Rodriguez. A little disappointing in that fight. I knew Jared Cannonier was going to come out on top, though, and take that. Gregory Rodriguez, he looked like a robot. He was slow. He was getting pieced up. I think once his nose got broken, he was just all over from there after round 1. Couldn't find himself back into it. Slow, and Jared Cannonier took that win like I called it. So go Jared Cannonier. That is my guy. All right, guys. We're going to move on to a 252 breakdown. Crazy fights next weekend, and I'm not saying it again. If you're not tuned in, don't come back. I'm not giving you the goods for nothing. From the prelims on that card, guys, I don't even know where to start. Everybody's noon on this card. They wanted to boost Song Yadong and Henry Cejudo, so they got all the heavy hitters to come and get on this 252 breakdown. First, we're going to start with a Ricky Simon. He is a good one to look at. He is on the prelims. He is a heavy hitter, bantamweight, upcoming. I think he's won his last fight. He is hot and heavy. He is ready to go. Let's go for Ricky Simon. We also have Andre Fili versus Costa. Don't get me pronouncing this guy's first name. My apologies. I don't want to mess it up and be embarrassed. But that is a great fight on the prelims to watch out for. Falil, also seasoned, not a rookie, knows what he's doing. I'm going to give it to Falil on that prelims. But don't lock that one in. Unlike 2 weeks ago, you guys got me there. We'll move on to this main card. A little 7-fight breakdown on this main card. I don't even know where to start. Rob Font, what a legend. He's going to throw it back for you against Gene Matsumoto. Pardon me if I messed that up also. We'll start from the bottom of this 252. Alonzo Menefield. He is a light heavyweight monster. Loved him since he got into the UFC a few years ago. He is fighting Julius Walker. I'm going to go with Alonzo Menefield on that one. Big boy. Good fight. Next, we're going to go to Ian Klabuta versus Ibo Aslan. Both these guys, heavy hitters, light heavyweights also. You don't know what to expect when it comes to those big boys. They throw big haymakers in the first 1 or 2 rounds. Next thing you know, they're gassed out after 30 seconds. You don't know what to expect from the guys. I'm going to go with Ion in that one, though. Next one, Edson Barboza versus Steve Garcia. Edson Barboza, what can you say about this guy? He has gone up the rankings, down the rankings. He has gone up weight classes, down weight classes. He has one of the most nasty reverse heel kicks to the face. He is a knockout monster and a breakdown of the knockouts. He will get one. I'm going to go with Edson Barboza also Saturday night. Rob Font, my guy. Pretty sure he lost his last fight, though. It was Rob Font coming off a win. Good for him. He's versus Gene Matsumoto, who is coming off a win also. Those guys both throw down. Those guys are in the catch weight, so they are fighting not at their weight class. One of them missed weight, so they're going to weigh in a couple pounds over or a couple pounds up, more than likely a couple pounds over, and fight at whatever weight class that is, a couple pounds up. And something with the money, they'll scratch something. Somebody's purse goes to the other person who didn't make weight. Either way, I'm going with Rob Font in that fight. That's my guy. Third fight from the top, Gene Silva versus Malik. Excuse me, don't get me pronouncing this guy's last name either. The Russian guys are crazy, all crazy names, and they're all crazy fighters. I am sorry if I messed that up. I do not want the smoke with you guys. In that one, I will go Gene Silva. He is a heavy hitter. He is seasoned also. Featherweight fight. These guys aren't getting tired. That'll go a good 3 rounds. It may go to the end, but I'm going to go with Gene Silva on that one. One of my next favorite fighters, we're going to go with Brendan Allen. He is my guy. He is nasty when it comes to the submission. His grappling game is insane, and he is coming off of a loss, so he definitely wants this one back in the co-main event against Anthony Hernandez. But Anthony Hernandez is also a solid vet. He is coming off a win. So Brendan Allen needs to do a lot, I'd say, to get back in here so he can get back in the rankings and stay up there. He is number 9, but Anthony Hernandez is chasing that. And after this fight, Brendan Allen wins. He should rise up in them rankings. Solid fighter. He should be a title fighter before you know it also within this year, I'd say. Solid fighter out of the U.S. Go Brendan Allen on that one. Now for the main event of that night, Triple C versus Song Yadong. Come on. Triple C, champion. But lost. Hasn't won since 2020. Aljo beat him up pretty bad. Lost to that. We thought he was going to win. He's lost to Merab Dvalishvili. He worked him. Triple C is a world-class champion, and his wrestling skills have gone out the window in these past 4 years with his break-off. Since a 2020 win, I do not think he is going to bounce back from this and try and get back in the rankings for anything. He is ranked number 7, but his countless years of being left out and not wanting to get back into it, wrestling gone out the window, I do not think he is going to take this W. I think Song Yadong, who is a nasty, doesn't get tired, always coming for more, stepping forward, he'll grapple you, he'll fight you, he'll whatever he can. I think Song Yadong is going to take this, and I do not think Henry Cejudo, Triple C, should go after another fight after this fight, because after losing back-to-back, hasn't won since 2020, I do not think he is going to do anything with this fight. I'm calling it now. 2 rounds in, Song Yadong is going to have him knocked out. The fastness of Song Yadong is unreal, so I'm calling that one. Song Yadong, 2nd round knockout on that one. I don't call those too often. So we'll see what goes on with that one. All right, guys, that's a 252 breakdown. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week for another breakdown. Thank you.
Dylan, my man, you are the best. I appreciate you for your UFC and boxing correspondent takes. Can't wait to have you on the show next week to hear from you again. You're the best, brother. Appreciate you. John, let's end the show like we always do with college basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the screen, it's a college basketball schedule this week. Games from Monday to Saturday. John, what college basketball games and what topics is jumping out the screen to you this week, my brother?
The Big Ten. We're getting to that point in the season where the Big Ten, the best teams in the country, are within a couple of conferences, the SEC and then also the Big Ten. We're starting to see those teams start to take each other out, so to speak, in terms of seeding and possibly bursting bubbles when it comes to bracketology. We got a big one on Tuesday night. We got Purdue ranked at 13th going at Michigan State in East Lansing. Michigan State recently fell to number 14. I'm seeing the same thing with Illinois and Wisconsin. It's just a lot. Even though Illinois is unranked, I feel like Wisconsin might be in for like a possible upset there. And I'm also looking at the Maryland Terrapins. They are a team on the rise. I recently went to a game on Sunday night against Iowa. They put up the most points in a conference game since 2002. And that was the last time Maryland basketball won a national championship. Just saying. I'm a bit of a homer because, yes, I am a former Maryland Terrapin, as everyone knows. But I love what I've been seeing from this team. I think Derek Queen is possibly freshman. He has a case to be freshman of the year in the NCAA. I know there's a certain guy at another school. I think his name is Duke. But Cooper Flagg has been phenomenal. I understand if he is the favorite for that. Guy's been phenomenal. I understand all of that, but Derek Queen, this kid at Maryland. If you haven't watched him play, you got to do so. And the big duo that Maryland has with him and Julian Reese, you're not going to see too many combinations like that in the country. And they've got great guard play with Colin Gillespie, Rodney Rice, and Selton Miguel. This starting five of Maryland is elite, and they have the ability to really challenge within the Big Ten. And I think come March they're going to be a tough out. So I'm definitely watching them going forward. And as you look through the schedule here, can't forget about the SEC. We just had an epic 1 versus 2 matchup with Auburn versus Alabama. First of all, I want to make sure I give a shout out to Bruce Pearl and Alabama's head coach Nate Oates. I want to give a shout out to both of you guys. Who imagined the Iron Bowl of Auburn and Alabama getting all this attention for basketball? For all these years that the SEC has been dubbed a football conference, that is no longer the case. The rise of SEC basketball has become one of, if not the best league in college basketball all season long. It's no longer. It's funny. Like I remember when it was basically called the Kentucky Invitational in the SEC. Like everyone was just like waiting. Okay, who's coming in second place behind Kentucky? That is a far cry from where we are today. So SEC has definitely been up there, but those are a few games that I'm paying attention to going forward for this week and beyond.
I want to shout out what you said about the Big Ten. Big Ten is loaded. Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Maryland, UCLA, Illinois, Nebraska, Oregon. I just gave you 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 teams out of the Big Ten can make the tournament. I believe that are in the tournament right now. And Ohio State's on the bubble. Ohio State is 15-11. So they have a chance. So the Big Ten is loaded. I was wrong on Maryland. I thought Maryland was going to taper off and fizzle out. I was so wrong. I owe you that apology, not only on Twitter, but face-to-face, man-to-man. You were right on Maryland. King, and Gillespie, and Reese. You can make a case Maryland has one of the best, if not the best, starting five in college basketball. The way they play, the way they dominate, the way they play as a unit. I love what I'm seeing from Maryland. So want to give your Terrapins the shout out with that. But the Big Ten is loaded. And like you said, the SEC, when it comes to basketball, we looked at the SEC as a football conference, and it still can be a football conference. Doesn't mean it's not a football conference. Yep. But from what I'm saying, I mean, bro, the SEC got the number 1 team, the number 2 team, the number 4 team, the number 7 team, the number 16, the number 15 team, the number 17 team, the number 21 team, the number 24 team. And Vanderbilt in basketball is 17-8.
How about that?
They have a better record than Texas. They have a better record than Arkansas. So, yeah, the SEC is a bloodbath. It's a gauntlet. Big Ten, SEC, and the Big 12. They're the 3 best college basketball conferences. Before you go to that, I just want to give my game of the week. I'm actually looking forward to Saturday, number 3, Duke versus Illinois. I'm looking forward to this game because this is a non-conference game. This is what the NCAA tournament kind of like will be. This is Duke's last non-conference game before they finish the season out with all ACC teams. The ACC teams are down. Boy, we wish Maryland was in the ACC. It could rise the GPA of the ACC up this year. That's how bad the ACC is. I know it's another subject for another day. Got it. Good luck to you guys in the Big Ten. I got to stop complaining and bitching about that. I got you. But all joking aside, Duke and Illinois. This is the last chance Duke is going to have in a non-conference tournament type of field game. So I got my eyes on that game, and that game is Saturday at 8:00 on Fox. Go ahead, bro.
No, absolutely. Duke has not been challenged I don't think Duke's really been challenged this entire year. I know they had that hiccup at Clemson, but by and large, the ACC has been a disappointment. I really don't believe that Duke is really going to be challenged more than they will on Saturday night until the tournament gets here. I know Illinois, like I said, is unranked, but they are a much better team than what Duke has been facing the past handful of games, so to speak, in my opinion. So I don't expect the blowout, in my opinion. I think Duke will be challenged. I think Duke will probably still win that game, but Illinois will definitely challenge them, especially since it's on the road at Champaign. So that'll be something to watch. And just looking at bracketology here, talking about how good these three conferences have been. Right now, the SEC is projected to have 14 teams in the tournament, followed by the Big Ten with 10 teams, and then the Big 12 with 8. It's insane, like, what we've been seeing, like, from these conferences.
Absolutely. Like I said before, the SEC, Big 12, Big 10, 3 best conferences. Down year for the ACC, down year for the American. So it's been down years for conferences that's usually been good to great. But the Big 12, the SEC, and the Big 10, they've definitely stepped it up, and they're balling out. In the SEC, man, you're guaranteed a great game. Whenever they have a game, you're guaranteed almost a great game every night. Going from number 1 to number 2, shout, like you said, Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl, to you could have Kentucky and Florida. You could have Tennessee and Florida. You could have we seen Arkansas. Arkansas was on the road. They defeated the top 10 team. So, yeah, man, they defeated Kentucky on the road. So
Coach Kyle's return.
Coach Kyle returned at Kentucky. So SEC is loaded. Big 10 is loaded. Big 12 is loaded. I will say this. I do think what you said about Duke, they have not been tested. But the game, this game against Illinois, to me, like I said, is a big one. Like I said, this is the best test they'll have non-conference for the rest of the non-conference season. So really want to see what they made about, see what Cooper Flagg, see what Proctor, see what those guys can do in that type of situation. It should be a great game Saturday night.
I just want to throw a little nugget in there. As I look at bracketology, there's a certain bracket that I saw where Maryland is projected to be in. It's the East bracket. Number 1 seed of that East bracket happens to be Duke. Just something to look out for.
Man, listen, I would love to play Maryland. I feel like we disagree on why they haven't played. Not enough time right now. We will definitely get into that throughout these episodes. But yeah, I would love to see Maryland and Duke play. I would love to see that. I really would. I think it was only good for the I-95, the Tobacco Road. It's only good for that. You feel me? We need that. I would love to see Maryland play North Carolina and North Carolina State. And I would love for them to renew all that. That'd be great. So, but yeah, man, if Maryland and Duke could be in the same bracket, that would be good. It would be just as good as, even though it hurt when this happened because Caleb Love shot Coach K out the tournament. But it was almost as good when Duke and North Carolina played that 1 year in the NCAA tournament. I'll never forget that. That was the COVID year. I'd never forget that. So. Congratulations to Caleb Love and North Carolina on winning that game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for watching episode 26. For the best producer in the game, the best Mr. Everything in the game, Ross. For the best new guest co-host in the game, make sure you check him out on Club JG Podcast. John, I love you, my brother. Can't wait to start this basketball journey with you and finish it out with you. For yours truly, Josh, I'm merely here just to be in the presence of these great guys and these great gentlemen to pass their wisdom down to me. We appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. We out.